has 60 tablespoon servings. 60. So each tablespoon holder gets 3 heaped tablespoons of rice. So if you have the tablespoon, please take 3 spoonfuls from the bowl of rice. That's the table. It's the middle size, the tablespoon. Yes, that's it. The tablespoon gets 3 spoonfuls from the bowl of rice. Now finally, the lucky person with the biggest spoon of all. 10% of the world owns 81% of the wealth. So everything left in the bowl belongs to you. You can put on your plate all the rice you want to eat. And to remind you of this dinner, you all have the gift of a spoon to take home with you tonight. We hope that it will spark conversations around your own tables to remind you of the great inequality in our world and the chance we have to help those in need. Fortunately for the rest of you, this is just an object lesson. We are not intending to force many of you to endure an evening of hunger. So in a moment, the waiters will serve the rest of the meal. So all in this room will have what they need. So thank you all for participating in this global wealth process. We're going to be beginning our main course soon. You will have a chance to continue bidding on the silent auction items. We will be bringing them inside a little bit so you can continue to bid on silent auction items. And we're going to be back in a half an hour. So thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all have been enjoying your dinner. It's now 8 o'clock, and we're going to start the rest of our program tonight. But first, we want to stop and welcome all of us that are joining us online. So from here on out, we are streaming. So everyone around the world is going to hear everything you say, okay? So let's all give a big welcome to those online. Welcome. So glad you can join us. Welcome to International Care Ministries Banquet, streaming live from Tyson's Corner here outside Washington, D.C. It is my pleasure now to welcome Lynn Zink for one of the most exciting parts of the evening, our live auction. And we'll be auctioning 2 wonderful prizes tonight, so please welcome Lynn.
Thank you. So excited to be here. 2 great items. So what I need to see from everyone in the room, you have your bid cards? Let's see you raise your bid cards. Look at this. Yes, that is what we are looking for tonight. This is awesome. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'll describe the items, and hey, no time to be shy. If I don't see you, stand up, holler, anything, get my attention. Is everybody ready for the live auction? All right, first up, Deanna, would you like to be the Vanna this evening? We have a stunning 18-karat gold necklace. It's Laponia gold. This is very special, and you can see pictures up on the screen as well. 33 grams of gold. This is very stunning. It's a very modernistic. It's wonderful. It's award-winning designs. I'm telling you, this is your chance to own this stunning, stunning necklace. So all we need is opening bid. Who would like to give us $1,000? 1,000 would be 1,000. How about $1,000 bid? 1,000 over here. Thank you. And now 1,200. 1,200 would be 1,200. 1,200 would be 1,200 would be 1,000. 1,200 all the way in the back. Thank you. And now 1,400. 1,400 would be 1,400. 1,400. Thank you. And now 1,600. 1,600 would be 1,600. 1,600 here. Now 1,800. 1,800 would be 1,800. 1,800. 1,800 in the back. And now, how about $2,000? 2 would get 2. 2 would get 2. 2,000. 2,000's a bid. How about 2,400? 24 would get 24. 24 would get 24. 2,400. 2,400. Now 2,600. 2,600 would get 2,600. $2,600. 2,600. 2,600 here. And now 2,800. 28 would get 28. 28 would get 28. Would have 2,800. I don't want to leave anybody out on this end. Anybody want to be 2,800? 2,800 would 2,800. 2,800 would 2,800. We have 2,600. Asking 2,800. How about 2,700? 2,700 would 2,700. We have 2,600 asking 2,700. 2,700 would it's a $3,400 value. 2,700. 2,700 would 27. 2,700 would $2,700. Are you sure? Going once. Going twice. Going $2,700. Going 3 times. Sold for $2,600. Congratulations. Number 180. Excellent. All right, our second item, who wants to go to Hawaii? Okay, I hope that translates into bidding. All right. So on this, with the trip to Hawaii, so it's 7 nights, and this is for up to 8 people. This is going to be stunning. Look at those photos. Look at that swimming pool. Okay, so you're going to go to Mauna Kea Beach, and this is at a beach resort. The villa has 3 exquisitely furnished bedrooms and luxurious en-suites for each bedroom. Also, it's only a 2-minute walk to a couple of the beach resorts. And the property, I tell you, world-class golf and superb tennis facility. Couldn't you see yourself there right now? So all we got to do is auction the property here. All right, for a nice Hawaiian vacation on the Big Island. Who would like to give us $2,000? 2,000, we get 2,000. 2,000's a bid, thank you. And now 2,500. 2,500, now 3,000. 3 would get 3. 3 would get 3. 3,000 would get 3,000. How about a $3,000 bid? We get 3,000. 3,000 is the bid, thank you. And now 3,500. 3,500, we get 3,500. 3,500, we get 3,500. 3,500, we get 3,500. 3,500. 30. Hey, he's bidding again. I love it. it. $3,500. You might be going to Hawaii. $3,500. Now $4,000. $4,000 is the bid. And now $4,500. $4,500 would get $45,000. $45,000 would get $4,500. And now $5,000. How about a $5,000 bid? We get $5,000. $5,000 would get $5,000. $5,000 would get $5,000. $5,000 is the bid. Thank you. $5,000 is the bid. And now $5,500. $5,500 to $55,000. $5,500 to $55,000. $5,500 to $55,000. $5,500 would get $55,000. $5,500 would get $5,500. I'm looking for some competition for you. $5,000 to bid. Who would like to be $5,500? $55,000 to $55,000. $55,000 to $55,000. $55,000 to $55,000. How about $5,200? Anybody at $5,200 for a trip to Hawaii? $5,200. 52, but you get 52. 52, but you get 52, but you get 52. $5,000 is the bid. Does anybody want to be $5,200? 5,200, but you get 5,200. All right, it's our last item of the auction. You want to say it with me? You ready? Sold for $5,000. You got it, Bob? Let's see, number 206. Congratulations. All right, thank you so much for your generous bidding. You're in for a treat now, so thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Lynn. Thank you to all of you for your generosity. I think Hawaii, that golf looks pretty good to me. I don't know, but listen, I'm Dave Sutherland. Let me start by introducing myself. I grew up I was born in northern Maine. And then I never lived anywhere more than 2 years my entire life until I went to high school. And I went to 10 different schools before I graduated from high school. Spent a little time in Columbia, Maryland, kind of moving around the world. But I was a competitive debater when I was in high school. And my brother Dan, right over here, was my debate partner. And then we went to university early. He graduated early so we could continue to debate together in college. And when in 1982, Dan and I were the national debate champions in the United States. And that was a long time ago. Dinosaurs, yeah. But at any rate, when that happened, we got a chance to learn a lot about the great social evils that face our world. And so that kind of helped to craft a little bit about my views about the world. And then I had met Deanna, and we were married shortly thereafter. And then Deanna and I felt the unrelated to the evils of the world. Yes. Oh, I think the stash was good, right? I don't know. Deanna and I felt like we wanted to be involved in reducing poverty in some way. So starting in the late 80s, I spent a decade, and I went to UVA Law School, and then I spent a decade in the D.C. offices of Wall Street law firms. I worked at 1333 New Hampshire, and then at 1 Thomas Circle, and then I went to work for the U.S. Treasury and worked at 1500 Pennsylvania Avenue. And then in 1997, I got a call from Morgan Stanley, and they offered me a job in Asia. So we moved to Hong Kong with our 3 young kids, and I started as their tax guy in Asia. But I eventually became the chief financial officer in all of Asia for one of the biggest investment banks in the world. I was overseeing the financial affairs of a multi-billion-dollar business. I put 5 million miles on the airplanes. It was a great job. But the reason that we moved to Asia was ministry, and I was introduced through my church in Hong Kong to this tiny little charity called International Care Ministries. And what I saw there broke my heart when we went to the communities. But I also saw huge potential in their approach. Over the last few decades, we've partnered with many friends and stakeholders, and together we've grown ICM to be one of the very largest charities across the Philippines today. The Philippines is 117 million people, the 12th most populated country in the world, and so to be one of the very largest charities in that country is a big deal. So the core values that I saw with ICM 25 years ago haven't changed that much since we've grown. The first core value is that we are focused. ICM is unique that we serve what we call ultra-poor people. Anyone living on less than $3.20 a day is classified as living in poverty. Extreme poverty is anyone who lives on less than $1.90 per person per day. The World Bank says that that is a level that threatens someone's survival. But ICM's focus is on the ultra-poor. We serve those who are living on less than 50 cents per person per day. That is a quarter of the level of extreme poverty. It's about as poor as you can get and still be alive. That is the poor people that we are called to serve, and we are laser focused on bringing transformation to those, the ultra-poor. So back in 2021, we held a dinner just like this, except back then there was a lot more masks. Back then, we had a donor named John, and John made a donation to support a transformed community with ICM, and that's our core strategic program. And as we do, anytime somebody makes a donation, we assign them a particular the gift to a particular community. And this particular gift went to a province in the Philippines that's called Antique. Now, ICM just collects millions and millions of data points to inform our strategy and measure our impact. It's not just numbers, all that data we collected. That data tells a story. So tonight, I want to paint a picture of what happened to the people who joined John's Transform program. This is a woman named Gerlin and her daughter Colleen. Gerlin and her husband, they have 3 children. They live by the shore. They make a living from fishing or construction. When we met Gerlin, her husband had not been able to work for 4 days, and they weren't sure when he would be able to work again. A few times every year, their home endures storm damage, and they don't have much money, so they mostly have to rely on scraps to fix their roof and walls and plug the holes. And like Gerlin, 53% of ICM participants live in cramped homes. You want to know what a cramped home is? If you have a 2,000 square foot home, you have enough room for 100 people to live in your home. Cramped home means less than 20 square feet per person. And that is 53% of our participants live with less than 20 square feet per person for their life. 23% of our participants have no electricity. Now, Gerlin's daughter, Colleen, she was born deaf, and they can't afford medical checkups, so the local school didn't want to enroll the daughter because the teachers don't have training about deaf students. But the mother, Gerlin, she persisted, and finally, at 7 years old, Colleen was allowed to attend kindergarten. But without sign language training, Colleen's future is quite limited. John's community, another guy there is a guy named Herman. And Herman grew up in the mountains, and when he joined our Transform program, his only source of income was selling firewood. And he lives up in the mountains, and he would gather the firewood together, and he would have to walk 2 hours one way to the place where he could sell it. And each heavy bundle he carries, he would earn $1 US. During storms, he can't work at all, so those days he doesn't have any income. The average income among our ultra-poor participants is just 31 cents per person per day. So just think about what that means. That means just over $10 US for a family for an entire week. And that is our average ultra-poor person, which means half of our people actually earn less than that. As a child, Herman's family didn't know whether they would be able to eat at all. So before he entered elementary school, they asked him to work to support his family. And he was not able to even start school until the age of 9. So he tried his best, but the economic pressure forced Herman to drop out of school quite a few times, and then he would re-enroll, and then he would drop out to work and contribute to the family income. But he was determined to at least finish high school, and he finally graduated from high school at the age of 23. 63% of ICM participants did not graduate from high school. 27% didn't graduate from elementary school. This is a picture of a woman named Honeychell, and she and her husband have 6 children. Honeychell says that she feels lucky that her village has clean water from a mountain spring, but 61% of our participants live with unsafe drinking water, which leads to frequent illness. Diarrhea is the second leading cause of childhood death in the Philippines. There are thousands of children that died needlessly because of unclean water. Tragically, a few months ago, Honeychell, she suffered a miscarriage. And here's a stunning statistic. 17% of ICM mothers have had one of their own children die. Now, I don't know about you, but I think I've had 3 families that were a couple my age where I know where one of their own children has died. And in each one of those times, it crushed that family. It crushed them. Like I'd call them up 3 years later, 2 years later and say, let's go to a movie, and they can't because they're still going. I suspect many of you have seen that experience. Imagine living in a world where 17% of everyone in a community has lost one of their own children. It's just paralyzing. So tonight we have discussed a little bit about the lives of these ultra-poor people. And it paints a pretty dark picture: unstable income, health crises, unsafe homes at the mercy of natural disasters. There's so many people that live without hope. So what could any of us do in the face of this kind of overwhelming poverty? There are a lot of other charities that decide to focus on a single solution. Might be a good idea in some cases. They build homes, or they dig water wells, or they provide microcredit, but that's not ICM's approach. We see deprivation in so many different areas, and so we focus on a holistic solution. And that means that one of our core values is to be effective. We only invest in strategies that are research-based, and our core strategy is called Transform. We went through a few decades of trial and error, and we developed a 4-month Transform program. Almost all of our efforts are centered around this one signature strategy. John's gift paid for the Transform program at Pastor JC's community. Because of his generosity, in that one community, 30 selected families, they gathered at a local basketball court once a week for 4 months. And every week, 2 ICM trainers would travel in. They traveled 2 hours one way to get there and then 2 hours to get back. Every day they went there. The first ICM staff member that traveled there taught all about health. They taught about hygiene, disease prevention, nutrition, safe motherhood. We distribute deworming pills. We construct tippy taps. We support pregnant mothers. In John's community, our health workers screened all the families, and they found several children that were suffering from clinical malnutrition. And one of those children is a little guy named Jello. It is Gerlin's youngest son. And ICM helped that little boy gain weight, and he grew to a healthy 23 pounds, which now is normal for his height, so he's been cured. This year, ICM rescued more than 2,000 children from clinical malnutrition through Transform. We supported 1,500 pregnancies. We dewormed 30,000 people. We saw a 10% reduction in serious illness across the population. The second ICM staff person that traveled there every week taught not health lessons, but they taught livelihood lessons. They taught about how to start a small business and form a savings group. Honeychell was surprised when her community elected her to be the savings group leader in their community. And so every family started saving about 40 US cents every week. And they started selling cleaning products as a group to their neighbors, and that created a double profit because every member earned a little bit of cash from every bottle of detergent that they sold, and the savings group itself also earned from the wholesale markup. And that savings group then distributes profits every 3 months. And Honeychell's highest dividend was $20, and she put that towards her children's education. Until recently, Herman had never had any savings in his entire life at all, but as soon as he got into the discipline of savings, he saw the benefit, and now he saves about $1 every week, and he's planning to replace his family's roof with his savings. Ultra-poor ICM participants, they experience a 107% increase in their income after graduating from ICM's Transform program. Participants in the Transform, they spend 12% more on meat and proteins, 10% more on fruits and vegetables. Those are modest changes, but they can be the difference between a child suffering from malnutrition or being healthy. Those kind of tiny changes are really vital in the lives of people in this circumstance. Now, on top of health and livelihood, Transform also serves the most vulnerable children with education. Now, as I explained a few minutes ago, Herman, he struggled to finish school, but Herman's nieces, Bree and Janelle, they enrolled in ICM's program we call Family Academy. And they learned that there we teach the mothers how to teach their own children and help them with the letters and numbers. These children, they learned foundational math and phonics, and it helped prepare them to excel in public school when they got there. Before Transform, only 4% of the children that we work with were proficient in math skills, and after they go through the Family Academy program, 60% are proficient in math skills, and we see similar changes in phonics. These children are going to enter school with a solid foundation, and their parents will be more likely to prioritize their kids' education going forward. In just a few years, we've prepared more than 13,000 children for a lifetime of learning. And if resources allow, we intend to scale up even faster. So tonight, you may be able to help us with equipping more children with that Family Academy education. We are pleased to have conducted randomized control trials to evaluate the effectiveness of this Family Academy program, and just a few weeks ago, we got our long-term results. We work with literally the top researchers in the world in this, and the people at Oxford were working with the people with Yale, and they were so stunned to see that Family Academy has doubled the impact of similar programs for a fraction of the cost. This professor, his name is Noam, he is in charge of a lab at Oxford whose job it is to look at all of the interventions around education around the world and try to see which ones work and which one doesn't work. Here's what Noam had to say.
I think one of the things that's been really interesting about the Family Academy results, it's one of the few interventions I've seen which actually evaluates and intervenes with these early numeracy skills, as well as literacy skills, phonics and early numeracy. And the results look good. It looks like it's working. And now I think it'll be interesting to see how long they can persist. But so far, so good. Most education interventions don't work at all, actually. Over half in a review we recently did don't even work at all. And the ones that work on average give you 0.1 standard deviations. And so getting to 0.2 or 0.4 is a really big deal. It already puts you on the upper end. And again, that's not even including the cost. If you include the cost, I'm sure it's going to be even more striking because this was much cheaper than most ECD interventions.
So Just to pick up a little bit on one thing that Noam had to say, ICM's cost efficiency compared to other programs. Our Family Academy program is a fraction of the cost of a lot of the other major early childhood education programs, and our Transform program is also between 10 and 20x cheaper than most other similar poverty alleviation programs. So how do we achieve comparable results for a fraction of the cost? That's because our core value is we're efficient. At ICM, we believe the most effective, the most efficient way to reach far-flung people is through local churches. These local churches are run by local pastors. They already live in the communities that they're trying to reach. These local pastors, they speak the local dialect. They know everybody who lives nearby already. These pastors have more entrepreneurial skills than most, and they could use those skills, if they wanted to provide more income for their families, to help out their own families. But instead, they decide to live as pastors. And when they do that, that usually means no salary at all from the church, and it almost always means enduring hardships for their family. So why do the pastors make that sacrifice? Because they feel the call of God to reach those in their communities. They are literally my heroes. Every time I talk to these guys, it is just humbling to see how they work. Pastors, they provide meeting places for the ICM's programs, and they also provide volunteers to host the programs. If we were going to try to deliver this Transform program through secular means, it would mean hiring a social worker from outside the community to come in and run the program, and they would cost a lot more, and we believe likely would be less effective. We have a network of more than 20,000 pastors who connect with ICM on a regular basis. Those pastors provide an extremely cost-efficient distribution network for us to reach the poorest people in the Philippines, and it allows pastors to live out their passion to serve those around them who are in need too. That network of heroic pastors leads to great efficiency for our Transform program. We aspire to keep the full cost of the Transform program to just $10 per family member that goes through the program. That's not $10 per month or $10 per year, it is $10 period. And that leads to our fourth core value: we are scalable. Our vision is not just to serve a few villages. There are millions of people that live in ultra poverty, and our solution, the size of our solution, needs to match the size of the problem. Our efficiency has allowed us to achieve scale. Within the Philippines, we are now in almost every single village in the center part of the Philippines called the Visayas. And we are expanding our reach to almost half of every village in the southern part of the Philippines, which is in Mindanao. For the last 15 years, we have graduated 1.9 million family members through that 4-month Transform program. And in the next few months, we will graduate our 2 millionth graduate. We feel that we are changing the face of poverty in large sections of the Philippines. And we're encouraged by those results. So in 2020, ICM launched our first international expansion. And we just are getting started in Guatemala, but already we have graduated 6,000 family members from Transform in Central America. We've seen a significant increase in savings among that Guatemala population. And among the ultra-poor Guatemalan families, we've seen income quadruple. In Uganda, we are soon going to graduate our 50,000th Transform beneficiary. Just let that sink in for a minute. I mean, just a few years ago, our Philippine staff they have been able to contextualize a program for an entirely new country and serve tens of thousands of people. And to our surprise, we are actually seeing in Africa the even better results for the Transform program than we see in the Philippines. So we're encouraged by those results. We have opportunities that we're praying about to bring Transform to additional countries. We're talking seriously to funders about Cambodia, the country that is still reeling from a genocide a generation ago that killed 1/4 of the people in the entire country. We are talking very seriously about Burundi. It looks like we will be going there. Burundi is arguably the poorest country in the entire world. We're talking seriously about Papua New Guinea, one of the most isolated countries in the world. So at ICM, we are focused, we are effective, we are efficient, we've achieved scale. But the real question around that is impact. Did John's gift really change the lives of people in that community? John's community graduated from Transform in February of 22. His gifts launched transformation in health, livelihood, education, and building emotional growth. This community was so motivated that they've now held 3 additional Transform programs for their neighboring villages. And then the local elementary school principal heard about Transform, and she decided to run an independent program that's modeled on our Transform program for 107 local elementary school parents, and that is all of their own initiative. We didn't do that. But the impact on John's community didn't stop there. Earlier this year, Honeychell heard that ICM was going to launch a Pitch for Hope program, it's like a Shark Tank business style competition for the 4,000 savings groups where we work with. And each savings group is allowed to pitch their business idea to win investment grants. So in her community, the savings group leaders did some market research, and many of the farmers in Antique community, they produce squash. That's what they farm. And during the harvest season, it's so abundant that sometimes the excess squash can go to waste. So that local savings group, they started a new recipe. They came up with a noodle that's produced from squash, and they tested their product, and it was popular with the local school kids and with the parents. So they entered their business plan into the local ICM Pitch for Hope competition. There was 37 local areas, and they won in their area. And then they headed to ICM's regional final, and that was more serious. There was more cash up for grabs, and to their delight, they won in the regional finals as well. So they had now accumulated about $300 of prize money, and they had 1 month to prove to the judges of the national competition what they could do with their investments. So they went back home, and in their backyard, they created a simple production space. They launched their product at their town fiesta. They made a profit of 180% of their investment in just the one fiesta. And then eventually they did well. They flew to Manila, and they competed with 13 other communities in the Pitch for Hope national competition against all these other successful saving groups from all across the Philippines. And I was one of those judges at the grand finals, and I was impressed with the group's product ingenuity and the severe need from their community. But it was very competitive. In the morning, their community was awarded the best project in the Western Visayas, and then that evening we went down to the grand finals, only 3 left, and we awarded them 3rd place out of the 3 in the evening, 3rd place out of 11 from that day. But even though they didn't clinch the grand prize, their grant of almost $1,000 has increased their production capacity. It has helped them build new products. They have built a business that pays production people for their time. Herman now earns $10 per week for 2 days of work. Geraldine helps to manage sales and works on production several times a week. Honeychell is using skills she didn't even know she had to manage the community business. Their group now can produce $60 of product every week. It brings both immediate income to the members who sell the product as well as long-term results for their group. Their next purchase, they say, will be a dough kneader, which allows them to produce 5x more in a day. And Pastor JC is building relationships with bulk buyers so that they can begin to scale up. So since launching, their group in that little tiny community has saved $2,500 of their own money. And it continues to grow every day. Now, not every one of the ICM communities actually wins a national competition or scales a business quite so quickly. But every donation tonight, like John's to Transform, will bring tools and training to a community that is ready to learn and to grow. So if you sponsor a Transform community, your giving doesn't just go into a pot of money. We allocate your Transform gifts to a specific community, which we will keep you in touch with. And we will report to you on what happened in your specific community, how many malnourished children were cured, how much the saving troops have saved so far. And you can even go and visit your communities if you'd like to go and encourage them in their journeys. At ICM, we believe that hope is the key. Hope is the vital ingredient that unlocks the potential for change. There are so many of our participants that have no hope for their futures. They no longer even dare to dream that life can be different. But to all of you in this room, I want you to know that you can make a difference. I realize it's not easy to give away money that you worked hard to earn, and you have a lot of other demand on your resources, but your generosity has the potential to change a lot of lives. So like you, when you, like John, give the gift of transformation, hope is unlocked, lives are changed. Our participants thank you, our staff thanks you, I thank you. And we asked Pastor JC and his community, they wanted to thank you as well. So let's take a look.
There was a time when every step I took led nowhere. This was a place that took all our dreams and swallowed them whole.
The wind blew a small seed of hope, and it took root, burst into life, and it found me. Give me the strength to go on.
You've heard such beautiful messages here, transforming lives, hope, filled with love. Earlier, you saw me up here selling items during a live auction. This is a special moment where instead of buying something, this is where each and every one of you is going to have the opportunity to make a gift, a monetary gift at a level that's meaningful to you. And each and every gift is going to make a difference. And this is where we're going to give a gift and have a goal of participation. Having each and every one of us participate in some way to help ICM continue transforming so many lives. You've seen the numbers. They're making a difference, and they have everything to back it. And it's been beautiful to see the transformation, and yet we're going to continue to do more and more because of your help. We're so excited to be here tonight and to announce that we have a $100,000 matching fund for tonight. Isn't that wonderful? 100,000. And so any gifts that we receive from $10,000 to $25,000 is going to be matched with this 100,000. So what I will do is mention an amount, and if you would like to make a gift at the amount that I mention, all you need to do is raise your paddle, and we will acknowledge your gift. This is such a beautiful part of the program where we're really going to see a difference. So I'm going to begin at the $25,000 level. Is there anyone here tonight who would like to make a gift of $25,000? If so, raise your paddle at this time. Is there someone here tonight for $25,000? Number 156, thank you. We've just raised $25,000 and it's matched. We've already raised $50,000. I always get so excited at this time of the evening. Our next level is at the $10,000 level. Who would like to make a $10,000 gift? Raise your paddle at this time if you'd like to make a $10,000. Number 160, thank you. Number 188, thank you for $10,000. That's right, I'm so glad you're clapping. Number 167, thank you. That's another $30,000. This is amazing. I just want to make sure we don't forget anyone. And let's thank everyone at the $25,000 and $10,000 levels. Big round of applause. Our next level, $5,000. Who would like to make a $5,000 gift? Number 181, thank you. Number 177, thank you. 238, thank you. 245, thank you. Number 168, thank you. 175, thank you. 195, thank you. Look at all these $5,000 gifts we just received. That's right, a big round of applause. This is where I get. And another one, number 172, thank you. Our next level, I get choked up because I just get so, it's so beautiful to see the money that we can raise. Our next level, $2,500. Is there anyone here tonight who would like to make a $2,500 gift? Anyone at the $2,500 level? And I'll look around the room. Number 170, thank you. 203, thank you. We are transforming lives. We are going to continue. And thank you for acknowledging them and thanking them as well. It's wonderful to get all the applause because we really are making a difference, aren't we? That's right. That's right. Our next level, $1,000. Who would like to make a $1,000 gift? Anyone at the $1,000 level? And the cards are getting in the air. Number 198, thank you. 165, thank you. 190, thank you. 189, thank you. Number 235, thank you so much. I lost count on how much. Number 186, thank you. See all those $1,000 gifts. Let's give a big round of applause. All of this encouragement that we've been getting. Is there anyone here tonight who would like to make a $500 gift? $500. Anyone at the 5? Number 209, thank you. 208, thank you. 193, thank you. 162, thank you. 201, thank you. 219, thank you. 221, thank you. 202, thank you. Make sure I don't miss anyone. Did you see all of those $500 gifts? Let's give a big round of applause for all of our $500 gifts. I always get so excited to see the money that we can raise. And you know, those of you who raised your paddles, on the table there is a form, and what you can do is you can fill out on the form the amount that you just made a donation for. Feel free to fill that out. For those of you who haven't had a chance yet to participate, there are other levels that you can give. Feel free to give at a level that's meaningful to you, because each and every gift adds up and makes a difference in the lives that we transform. You can fill that out on this paperwork also. And also, don't want to forget to tell you this. I know some of you have been very excited. Do you remember hearing about the voucher earlier? That $1,000, and it's going to cost you $500 to go on the trip, and you can buy as many as you want for family, friends. That you can do this on the form as well. You can sign up for the vouchers on here. So feel free to fill out this form. And you know, I don't know how our memory is. So after you fill it out, just so that you know how to make a payment, feel free to take out your camera, you know, your phone, and take a picture of the form so that you can remember how to make the donation, okay? That's the important part, because we just had some beautiful pledges here this evening, and we want to thank you for your generosity tonight. Thank you all so much. Can I have one more big round of applause for all of you? Thank you so much, Dustin.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Lynn. You did a wonderful job leading us through that moment of giving. And thanks to all of you who have pledged to help ICM. Thank you very much. We're going to be serving the desserts now, which is great news. But that also means that we only have 10 minutes left to make pledges or bids on the silent auction items. So we've moved the silent auction items to this side of the room. So if you wanted to place your bid, this is your last chance to do so. We have 10 minutes left to do that. For those who have bid already, good luck. And we hope you enjoy your dessert. And we have one more video, and there'll be a countdown clock so you know how much time you have left on the silent auction items. So thank you.
My eyes are lifted up, my heart is filled with love, my hope is strengthened right before me. When you dare to dream with us, when you take a chance to see what we see, dream with me. Okay, now wait just a minute, stop and think. What's the point of a dream if you can never realize it, never see it come to life? Every day you're pushed back to the bottom of the pile. Meanwhile, there's millions of people right beside you. So what do you do? Is there a way to rise above? Take a chance to use your hands and feet and mind to lift up. Go higher than their expectations. You'll fly. Start with education, yeah. every day with the hard, towering challenges of life. They get in the way and make you feel like there's no point of even trying. When someone comes beside you and opens up their lives and gives you hope, well, there's really no way to describe that what kids like me dream of, in need of a voice to speak to us and tell us that there's someone who believes in us. So come and dream with us, and you will see we'll live a life worth living.